Hey, how is everyone's weekend going so far? This is my review that was going to be done last Thursday, but unfortunately I had a appointment, so I couldn't do it, or have enough time to do it. So it's called Stowaway. It's a Netflix original. Last Thursday, I think it came out, or last Friday. I believe it was this one or the TV show Bones and something, or something and Bones, which I'm going to be doing at some point. It's a TV show. A show. It's this one stars Andrew Kendricks, Tony Collette, Daniel Da Kim, Shamir Anderson. I believe that's how that's spelled. Could be all correct. The plot of it is a team of three scientists are on a 2-year mission to Mars and back when a stowaway appears after they got settled in space and on their way. Despite only having supplies for 3 people, they must adapt. So it's kind of straightforward. First off, I've noticed a very high quality, crisp movie this is, which you expect from Netflix for sure. It's usually always good quality. The story is another thing. And the acting is a whole other thing together, obviously. But for the most part, Netflix usually puts out these originals, movies and TV shows, and they're very, very high quality, crisp work. So I had to look up what I've seen Kendricks in so I can remember if I like her as an actress or not. As I don't recall what she's been in outside of a girly teen musical movie franchise, which I cannot stand, and I didn't even care to look up the name, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. She's pretty much, I think it's like what made her famous. So apparently I never saw her in anything outside of Twilight, and I only watched the first 2, never watching the rest. Hated the first 2. But I thought she did a good job. Even though she has this kind of squeaky voice to her, and that kind of threw me off from trying to tell her acting, but she does a good job in this. Definitely well done acting in this. Not award winning, but she's young, so you got time to work up to that. For the movie itself, though, I love the set design and how big the ship is. You can tell it's huge with the very nice shots of them being followed in front as they go through different parts of the ship. And the set design, again, is really nice. It's very big. They throughout the whole thing, they have it kind of... So they're following them, and they follow them, and they're just striding forward them as they're going by. You can kind of see a distance between them, if you know what I mean. But, it's kind of screw that up a little bit. So the time frame, from what I gather, is somewhat a time in the future. They don't say when. I wish they would have. But apparently it's after we put a colony on Mars. So, let's get a gist of that. There are a lot of issues with this film. This is a thriller. So I don't know if I said that in the beginning, but this is a sci-fi space thriller. And thrillers are supposed to keep you on your toes, whether it's action or tense, scary moments, etc. This was boring, in my opinion. They stretched the whole, we need to save this guy's life by getting air. They definitely stretched that whole thing all the way to the ending. And the ending was kind of weak, in my opinion. So, I put 75% of the movie. I don't know what that... it's more of 79%. The first part of it is they automatically go into space. And, they're already in space, and so they really stretched out the whole, they're blasting off thing in the cockpit. So, the when they were talking to people, there's only a couple times where you hear a little bit of mumbling, and that's really it. They don't, when they're talking on the feeds to their family members or to what I suspected was the news at one point, they don't show the actual thing like they do normally. So I'm guessing that's either the director's kind of artsy style, or it's just they didn't have that type of budget to have other stars in there. Because this was in the spaceship the whole movie, and it was just 4 people. A lot of cool creative camera shots, but just had me bored. And I'm going to keep saying that because I was bored throughout this. Didn't really think this was that special of a space story. Honestly, I didn't care for the movie. The acting was good. It was nothing out of, something special. Story wasn't special. It's definitely not in there, my top 20 or even 30 best space adventure movies. So, it would have been better if they had the guy try to kill them, and the reason he was on there was shady. Which it wasn't. It was just straightforward, and I feel like they missed the opportunity to it. Otherwise, it was just a bland, boring film, and that was way too long. It was almost 2 hours long. It's about an hour and 58 minutes, I think. 59 minutes. So it was definitely really stretched out, and it just wasn't entertaining in my opinion. But here is my rating for it. Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of things that could have been done to it. This came off more as a project film that would be high budget, but on YouTube, I guess you could say. Somewhat in between there and a good, decent budget film, Hollywood film. So it was more, I guess you could say it was more of an indie film, because I think that's what's considered in between. But, it is what it is. There's been debatable a lot of good movies on Netflix. For the most part, I like them. TV shows can be a hit or miss, but for the most part, I like them. I used to be more of a fan of Netflix back in the day. A couple years ago, everything else was good, but then they started putting out other stuff that kind of lagged for me. And then they stopped putting out stuff that I was even interested in past year or so. But it's something to watch. It's just a thing, and I'm not obviously paid by Netflix or any of these streaming services. I am. I wish. But, they probably won't like my opinion on stuff. So, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. But anyways, please like and subscribe if you have not already. It helps out the channel. Please leave a comment. Also helps out the channel. It helps with the algorithm. And, that was my honest opinion of this. And I love you all. And please stay safe and Skol.